I was in Vietnam from October of 71 until February of 72. And in the early morning of February 16th of 72, we woke up and found out that we're having a fairly large attack just north of the demilitarized zone that separated North and South Vietnam. So very, very southern part of North Vietnam. I was flying the back seat with a seasoned second tour pilot, and it was very quiet. Quiet being not much activity coming from the ground.
At 1,500?
And then all at once, all of our electronic radio gear lights up, which was telling us that we were being painted by a radar on the ground. And it was coming from 360 degrees. All of a sudden, we see a couple missiles launch, and one came up on our 6 o'clock. We hear a big thump. The airplane slows, RPMs go to 0, fire warning lights come on, and you're no longer flying. We eject, our aircraft now crashes in the village right near where we were bombing, and now we're floating down into that same village. So we had no chance for escape or evasion, and basically 24 hours later, we end up at what we find out is a little section of the Hanoi Hilton. As a prisoner, you're in isolation and you don't know where you are. You're sleep deprived and food deprived and interrogated a lot and threatened with your life. All you know of is survival. I used to say there's no atheists in foxholes. I mean, everybody prayed up there. Some of the best church services I ever attended were in the Hanoi Hilton, mostly because we weren't allowed to have them. And we had them anyway, despite punishment. We weren't allowed to sing the national anthem, but guess what? We did it anyway because it was important to us. As a 23 or 24-year-old first lieutenant, you know, I was very, very raw. I was only in the military a year and a half, not even 2 years. So I found out a lot about myself, both as an adult and as a military officer. I had older POWs who were there for 6, 7, 8 years, and basically said, you know, if they could do it, I think I could do it, or they told you could do it. So you learn the value of relying on people that you trust and admire and taking the best from what they have to offer and kind of embedding it in yourself. We really didn't believe that we were going to be repatriated because you never believed what they told you anyway, because everything they did was for propaganda purposes. And on March 28th, they put us in civilian clothes. They took us to GLM Airport, which is the Hanoi airport. And we saw some guys that looked like American military officers, so that was a good sign. And then we saw the plane with American markings on it and a red cross on the tail. And it wasn't being shot at, so we thought that was a good sign. And then they announced our name when you were formally repatriated and turned over from one government to the other, escorted to the plane. And we took off, and it wasn't for another half hour until we literally got over the Pacific Ocean that we relaxed and realized that we were probably heading home.